The Houston Rockets may move on from Carmelo Anthony. Now, I don't know if it's going to be true or not, but rumors have it that Melo will be released by the Rockets, as Rockets players don't think he's actually going to stay with the team for a while. They think he is actually going to leave the team soon. Melo is averaging so far this season 13.4 points per game, 5.4 rebounds, 0.5 assists, and bench points per game 0.7. His 3-point percentage this year so far is 32.8, field goal percentage 40.5, minutes per game 29.4. The free throw shot is 68.2 this year. Now, my thoughts of the Rockets doing this, I think it's a great idea. Here's why. Can Melo play defense? Can Carmelo be like what he once was? I mean, let's be for real. He hasn't been the same since he was with the Knicks, the Nuggets, and the Knicks. Ever since he went to, like, OKC, he just hasn't been the same. And, you know, there always are the Melo fans that want to defend this man. But you know that the guy that's 34 years old can't be what he once was. Now, there are, the NBA and other sports stuff have three teams that could be interested in Melo. Three teams are the Miami Heat, the Portland Trail Blazers, and the Philadelphia 76ers. What team do I think he should go to? It's clearly none. To be honest with you, I think this is Melo's final season. You can defend Melo as long as you want, but Melo is just not the same like he once was. And he's also a ball hogger. And there's a Melo curse. So, well, I mean, I'm thinking of all these teams that they think that the sports people and the NBA think that should go after Melo. How will this affect? I think it affects everything. Let's start with the Blazers for the first one. It's now been officially a year when I said Carmelo Anthony should join the Blazers. It's officially been a year. Well, not today, but it was like I think like 2 months ago. 2 months ago, before the last season started, I made a video on saying why Carmelo Anthony should join the Portland Trail Blazers. And the Blazers did some practices with Melo. And Melo liked the practices. But the problem was he didn't want to go to the Northwest. And I was like, when he went to the Thunder, wow, that's going to be a really good team. But we know what happened in OKC. And he's not like what he once was, like I said. And even if he does come to Portland, he would have to be the bench player. And what Portland's been doing so far, do they really need him? Now, I remember when I was angry when he didn't want getting traded to the Blazers or weren't interested in them because of the fact it was the Northwest and all those practices, and the talk and showing him around the city of Portland were for nothing. So yeah, if I was Portland, I wouldn't after what he did to you guys. And you're 10-3, and that's one of your best starts in franchise history. So yeah, I think Melo should not be in Portland. Don't you dare go for him, because Portland so far is looking good. And I know when I said I need a forward, but at this point in time when he was with OKC and with the Rockets so far, he is not the forward they are looking for. Now the Philadelphia 76ers. The 76ers just traded for Jimmy Butler. And we all saw Jimmy Butler being traded somewhere. We all saw that coming. Now, does Philly really need him? I say that because the 76ers want to be young. And they only, to me, just needed a shooting guard. And now they got their shooting guard in Jimmy Butler. Now, would Melo put some help? Maybe, just maybe, only coming off the bench, because I think at this point in Melo's career, he has to be a bench player because the guy's 34, and like I said, he averages 13 13.4 points per game with the Rockets so far. So yeah, I think Melo will be, if he had to be a bench player, he will be a bench player for either of these teams. But yeah, Philadelphia, if you want to trust the process, that means you cannot get a guy like Melo. Now, if Jimmy Butler does okay-ish or bad, sure, go get Melo. But if Jimmy Butler does too great, then you're fine. You don't need a guy like Melo. And at this point, I don't think they need a forward. I think they are fine the way they are, because that's the team I think that's going to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Boston Celtics. And I think personally, if they get Melo, they'll end up being a 6th seed. I personally think that. Alright, now the final team that is interested in Melo, well, that they think it's interested, is the Miami Heat. Now, I know why. I think I know one of the reasons why. Dwayne Wade is close with Carmelo Anthony, and they're one of the best friends. They're best friends. And Melo, Miami to me does need somewhat of a forward, but I don't know if it's Melo. If the question, I mean, Melo, even with the Philadelphia 76ers, will go back to the Eastern Conference, where it's a more easier way to get to the finals, or just get to the Eastern Conference. But does Miami really need him? I mean, honestly, I don't really know how I would feel about him going to Miami. I personally think Dwayne Wade needs to start still. I don't care if Wade's old. Get him some time to shoot and play time. But yeah, adding Melo maybe would help their offense just a little bit better. But just like Dwayne Wade, the Miami Heat probably would put Melo coming off the bench, like how they're doing with Dwayne Wade, because of their age and all that. And personally, I don't think the problem is with Melo, with all these teams, and I think especially for Miami, how will this affect your defense? And I think Miami has a good, decent defense. And I think if they get Melo, it will all be ruined. That's what I just personally think. But I wouldn't mind seeing Melo and D Wade play with each other. That would be interesting. Now, what team do I think Melo is going to? Personally, none. Melo is just at this point of a time of him getting old and him getting no longer to play. I think this is his final year. I know when guys like Stephen A. Smith say he needs to start more. Lots of times Stephen A. Smith is right, but in this point he's wrong, because this is a guy who's 34 years old, and if that's the case, then Dwayne Wade needs to start, and yet he doesn't act like a bench player. He acts like a professional starter. Still at this age that he is. But Stephen A. knows it, and I know it, and you all know that Melo's not a defensive player, and he's a ball hogger, and he just relies mostly on himself. He doesn't rely mostly on his teammates. And he needs to do stuff like that you just saw. He doesn't do that a lot now, but he's got to at least try. So personally, I don't think Melo will be with any of those teams. I think Melo will retire this year. And like I said, you can defend Melo all you want, but you know it as much as I know it. He's not what he once was. But what do you guys think? Where will Melo end up if he gets released from the Rockets? Or do you think no one will take him? But leave a comment down below about that. Like this video, share this with your friends, subscribe to me for more videos like this one. This is the one and only TGTV Tank Mode, signing off.